Hi friends, good morning. Welcome to Shankaran IA Study Circle. This is Dr. Harinath Reddy, Director of the Institute. So today in this particular video, let us try to discuss all the important terms and concepts related to demography. So what is demography? So demography is the study of population. So when we read the newspapers, we very frequently find certain terms in the newspapers related to demography. The first one, demographic dividend, working age population, dependent population, total dependency ratio, demographic winter, gender dividend, silver dividend. So these are the terms which we frequently read from the newspapers. And let's get started with the demographic dividend. So what is demographic dividend? We all know that in India, we are witnessing rapid decline in the total fertility rates. So as per the National Family Health Survey of 5, the total fertility rate has come down to 2.0 at the national level. This is national average for all the states and union territories. So total fertility rate 2.0 means it was below the replacement level. So replacement level of fertility is 2.1. So when any country witnesses sudden decline in the total fertility rate, that country is going to witness a sudden increase in the population in the working age. So if you take the entire population in any country, it can be divided into three groups. One is children, people in the working age, and the senior citizens. All the children in the age group of 0 to 14 years, they are called children. Then all the persons from 15 to 64 years, they are called persons in the working age population. Then all those who are above 65 and above 65, they are called elderly age population or senior citizens. So in the total population, if you add up the children up to the age of 14 years and the elderly age people of 65 and above, they are called dependent population. So in a country, all the people who are in the age group of 15 to 64 years, they are called working age population. And the children and elderly age people, they are called dependent population. So in the year 2023, in the total population, working age people accounted for 68%. The remaining 32%, they are dependent population, which means the children and elderly age people. Now let's get back to demographic dividend. What is demographic dividend? So demographic dividend is defined very comprehensively by United Nations Population Fund. So United Nations Population Fund defines demographic dividend as economic growth potential resulting from an increase in the working age population. So when the total fertility rate rapidly declines in any country, there is going to be a change, a shift in the structure of the population. What is this change in the structure of the population? The working age, the proportion of people who are in the working age will increase. The proportion of people who are dependent will come down. Now India is in such a situation wherein the proportion of the people who are in the working age, that is 15 to 64 years, is around 68%. And the dependent population, that is children in the age group of 0 to 14 years, and the senior citizens of 65 and above, they are around 32%. So in any country, if the proportion of the working age population is more than the dependent population, in such a country, there is a very high possibility of an increase in the economic growth. So this increase in the economic growth potential because of an increase in the working age population is referred to as a demographic dividend. So demographic dividend refers to the economic growth potential, that is an increase in the economic growth, the possibility of an increase in the economic growth because of an increase in the working age population, because of a shift in the structure of the population, because of the rapid decline in the total fertility rates, that is called demographic dividend. Then what is gender dividend? We all know that in India, not only in India, even at the global level, women account for 50% of the total population. Among those who are in the working age, women account for 50%. In any country, if you want to have very high economic growth rate and sustainable development, then we need to focus on women empowerment and gender equality. If there is adequate focus on women empowerment and gender equality by investing on health, education and skill development of women, that also will result in higher economic growth potential. This is called a gender dividend. So gender dividend, it refers to a possibility of higher economic growth potential by achieving gender equality, and women empowerment is called a gender dividend. Then there is a third concept called silver dividend. See, in India, because of radical improvements in medical technologies, the mortality rate has come down, the death rates have come down, and even the total fertility rates have also come down. This also led to an increase in the life expectancy. In all the developed countries, now because of an increase in the life expectancy, the proportion of elderly age population is increasing. In countries like United States of America, Canada, South Korea, Japan, European Union, in the total population, the proportion of the elderly age people is rising, overall population is coming down. So this situation is called a demographic winter. Demographic winter refers to a decreased demographic winter refers to a decrease in the total fertility rates, resulting in shrinking working age population, resulting in an increase in the proportion of the working age population, and also resulting in lower economic growth. So this is the situation where the developed countries are in. This is called a demographic winter. So recently there was a question in the UPSC mains exam, what is demographic winter? Is the world moving in the direction? Yes. So excepting for some countries in Africa, including countries like China and India, which are the most populous countries in the world, including the developed world, they are all moving in the direction of an increase in the share of elderly age people in course of time. So yes, to a great extent, the entire world, including the developed world and countries like China and India, they are moving in the direction of demographic winter. So already the developed countries, they are facing labor shortages. So working age population is shrinking, the total population is declining. This is affecting economic growth. That's the reason why countries like Japan, they are using increasingly artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation and robotics. So as there is a shrink in the working age population and the labor force, to deal with the situation, there is increasing reliance on robotics, automation, technology, capital, artificial intelligence and machine learning. So this concept is called demographic winter. Demographic winter, it refers to a rapid decline in the fertility rates and a very low fertility rates, resulting in declining population, resulting in an increase in the elderly age people, which is a burden on the economy, thereby reducing the economic growth potential. Then what is silver dividend? So when there is an increase in the life expectancy, if more people live for longer periods, the elderly age people who have got a lot of skill and experience, they can be made to participate in economic activity so that they will not become a burden to the country. So we can also increase economic growth potential by productively engaging the elderly age people. This needs certain things to be done. We all know that with aging, the elderly age people are prone to certain geriatric diseases which come with elderly ages. So if we can invest in a healthcare which needs the requirements of elderly age people, then if we can provide work which is more convenient for the elderly age people, they can also be productively engaged in economic activity, thereby contributing for economic growth. There is a perception that the elderly age people are going to be a burden on the working age population. And to address this, we can increase the levels of participation of the elderly age people in economic activity by improving their skills and by investing on their health so that they remain active and can participate in economic activity. This concept is called silver dividend. So these are the topics which you have already covered. One is a demographic dividend, gender dividend, silver dividend, then demographic winter. The opposite is called demographic spring. So in a country, if the total fertility rate is high, if that results in an increase in the total population, an increase in the working age population, that is called demographic spring. The opposite of it is called demographic winter. Then the last concept, total dependency ratio. So in a country, if the working age population is say 100 crores, then in that, what is the ratio of the dependent population? For every 100 people in the working age, what is the dependent population? That is children and the elderly age people. So how much they account for? It's around 46%. So if there are 100 people in the working age, out of every 100 people in the working age, around 46 people, they are either children below 14 years of age or elderly age people of above 65 years. This is called a total dependency ratio. Total dependency ratio does not refer to the dependent population in the total population. The total dependency ratio, it refers to the dependent population as a percentage of the working age population. So the total population may be 100, in that the working age population may be 70, in that 50% may be the dependent population, which is 35%. So this distinction you must appreciate. So these are the most important topics and the most important terms, concepts related to demography. Thank you and all the best. We will come up with yet another video on other important basic concepts and terminology. Thank you.